Hello, the Astroflower family. Welcome to your collective monthly reading update on the planets that are moving around. And basically, Mercury, Venus, and Mars are all going into Aquarius in a very short period of time. Yes, we're in Aquarius season, so happy birthday to all you Aquarians out there, and also happy birthday to you Pisces out there for the end of February. And Pluto will be in alignment with Mars on 0 degrees on Aquarius on the 14th, on the morning of the 14th, which is getting everything into alignment. It's not going to be the first time because because obviously it goes back into Capricorn during October, November, but it's that alignment from Mars and Pluto, and I think that's what that purification is all about that we've been talking about this month. It's like the middle road, because we've got 29 days in the month of February this year, and it's like the middle road. And then Mercury goes into Pisces on the 23rd, so that's just at the beginning of Pisces season. So for all you Pisces out there, you should be getting a lot of communication and information coming from the universal vibrations, as it were. Understanding a lot of things that are going on in the zeitgeist around you, and getting a clear vision from that period there. Very good for your birthday season. But yes, Mercury went into Aquarius on the 5th of February. Mars went into Aquarius on the 13th of February. And Venus is going into Aquarius on the 16th of February. And I think this is where there's a lot of sort of purification going on, and we've seen the sun reacting. And because this is a very particular thing, because all the planets on the other side to the sun of the Earth, it's basically the information that's coming through the sun that is streamlining the information or the messages from Mercury, Venus and Mars, because it's on the other side. And the sun has been highly active. If you've been following anything on Cymatic TV, I've been talking about this, talking about how the sun's erupting and how it affects your chakras and your aura and your energy and your emotions and so forth. And at the moment, it's really tying into, it seems to be tying into the sacrum and solar plexus and the third eye and the throat as well, about purifying our fundamental sort of dreams or ambitions, as it were. And that's what it seems to be. And I think this is going to be a purifying thing with Aquarius, certainly with Pluto in Aquarius and coming into the age of Aquarius, as far as I can tell. Yeah, there is a lot going on, and it's all about the energy that is around you. So it's coming through the sun, as I said. So it's the information coming through the prana, through the universal energies. So this is all about observing from your position and your monthly reading the world that is going on around you and the vibrations that's sort of happening in that sort of section there. I will be pulling 3 cards for each planet, Mercury, Venus and Mars, on relationship side and on the financial side. Just see what's going on. We're going to, as I say, we're going to pull 3 cards for each sort of planet and just see what the messages that are coming in for us for the collective here, and see what the zeitgeist or what the overall sort of influences that are happening for us, both on our relationship and on our financial side. So yeah, there seems to, it feels like there's a, it's giving, I haven't seen any of the cards yet, as you can well see, but it feels to me like there's it's giving a precision to that purification. That's what it feels like to me. It's on the relationship side, it seems to be more of a case of determination. That's what it's giving us here. And on the financial side, it's giving us a lot more clarity of what and where we should be going and what we should be doing, basically. Let's just get these cards out of the way. So here's our Mercury, Venus and Mars. Okay, so let's just see what's going on with Mercury and the information that's coming through. So we get the 3, we get the 5 of Wands, we get the 4 of Cups, and we get the Star card here. I think that's the first card I'm turning over. So that's the internal conflict that we have, not only within ourselves, but within the world around us. And I think that needs to be streamlined with that 4 of Cups. And the message here that's coming from the Sun is giving us a sort of an idea of what to focus on. And what to focus on is basically the goals. What do we want out of life? What do you want out of life? How can you fit that into the collective, basically? How can you fit that into the collective? And it's driving those passions, because the information comes through first with Mercury, then we got Mars, so there's that passion, that fire that's driving it, behind it. And then we have that Venus, which is almost like the love or the solution to the situation. So let's go, here we've got, for Mars, we've got the 7 of, oh, look at this. 7 of Wands, right? We got 2 7 of Wands, and we got the 7 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles. It's this sunshine, you know, that's what it is. 7 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. Now the 2 of Cups came out at the top of the dial, as you can well see on the collective here, and this is all about our goals and our dreams. This is all about this Star card here coming through from Mercury. We're getting the information. And this with the 2 7s here, 7s for me is revelation. So it's revealing to us the goal of how to do it and how to nurture that goal as well. And this is where our passions come into place. This is where Mars is really driving it, and driving those sort of passions within us. And I think this is where we get that sort of, last time that Pluto went into Aquarius, we went from conflict to revolution. And I think this is what it's saying here with Mars here. It's sort of saying, get in alignment with yourself and nurture something. Don't fight it anymore. And I think this is where, you know, we've got to let go of that sort of thing as we distill it for a future that we can all agree to and adhere to. And there's a lot of stuff that I think, you know, once put on the table, I think everybody's in agreement with the majority of things. Really, it's coming down to semantics that, you know, that are, you know, very small, fine detail between all of us that is really holding us back. With Venus, we get a leap of faith, followed by a Page of Wands and the 6 of Cups. This is that freedom moment and realizing the depths that we have in the collective. And we have to believe in ourselves more than anything else. It's the start of a journey as well. It's the start of something completely new. That's what's coming in Venus, and how we sort of conduct ourselves with it and how we engage our passions. And I think this is where this is streamlining all of this revelation, these 7 of Pentacles into that 2 of Cups, and realizing what sort of passions we want to put into the situation. And once we start doing that, we can take all the good stuff from the past and give it to ourselves in the future. You know, it doesn't matter which generation you're from, you know, you can always look in the past and say, oh, it was so much better in the past and everything like that. Yeah, because you know the past. You know, there's so many things that are great, but there was also so many things that weren't great in your, you know, in past times. If we recognise that, that's when we can really start building something that is a lot better, as it were. And we have to use our passions in order to go forth in all of this. Let's see what's going on with the financial sort of side. We have the 4 of Wands. Oh no, sorry, wrong way. We have the 6 of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the 4 of Wands. was looking at the reading from the thing, and we did have the Four of Wands in there, which we saw as well, and the Queen of Wands as well, and the Chariot cards. It's all coming in very quickly, and I think we have no choice about this evolution that's happening within the collective. We have to go into our curious. So it's a case of sort of saying, well, if we don't do business like this, let's just have a look. Let's just say, if we don't do conflict, how much money would we save? Just think of what we could spend that money on. It's like you're running your household and you're heating the house because it's really cold, but because someone likes the window open, you got to have all the doors and windows open, so you're not heating the house at all. And I think this is where, you know, the universe, or certainly Mars, is trying to give us that information to sort of say we can get it through, and we have to get behind an idea. We have to get behind an idea that it's pointless knocking hell bells out of each other. And once we do, that's when we get the unification with us. And I think that's what the general message is from Mars here within the financial world. I think we need to start moving towards that, or not moving towards, enacting that logical evolution that I've been talking about for a very, very long time. And it's gonna drive us forward into something that is far more collective, without being, you know, giving loads over to tiny proportions of society. We should be collectively looking after each other, and then individually should be looking after each other. Once you start doing that, you know, in theory, everybody should be okay. Just think about it. If we started really doing that and making sure your neighbour's fine, just think how much money you'd save. You wouldn't have to you wouldn't have to have prisons, or, you know, I guess the slave labour that they have in prisons, we wouldn't have the slave labour, but then again, would we want that? You know, we don't want that, which the cost is far greater. And with this, we get the, you know, with Mars, we get that, with that unification, we get the Four of Wands again. With that unification, we can start sowing or connecting the beautiful things in the past to our future. The similar sort of thing that's happening on the outcome with Venus on the relationship side here. But you've got the Four of Wands, we got the Four of Wands twice, so it's really talking about sort of saying you've got to unify behind a goal that comes out of the understanding of the past. And that's when we get the King of Wands. And we get this sort of direction, and we get this sort of like determination within us to go forth and conquer, basically, and really do well. What's the general outcome for all of this? Chariot card, as I said, we had the Chariot as well on the collective as well. That was down here, and it was the connection from the past to the future. I think it's going to come on very, very quickly. I think everybody's going to get behind an idea, an idea that's going to come to the surface, which is going to unite everybody, not behind a person, but behind an idea. And we're going to see, and this is where Venus comes into play, we're going to see the evident path that is in front of us. So we don't have to mess about. We can really start forging into our curiosity, sort of saying, well, if we take conflict out of the situation, and we all of a sudden we got all this extra money, what are we going to do with it? And that's what the curiosity should come into play. Can you imagine if we didn't have to, you know, insure vehicles for theft, or even against accidents? It was just like, you have an accident, it's an accident, everybody should be looked after, you know. If we didn't have to put locks on doors and pay for insurance against, you know, break-ins of the house, you know, putting lockers on cars. Just think of the amount of tonnage of metal we no longer have to do. That we don't have to do those cables for that locking system and stuff like that. It's It's that knowledge and understanding that comes through the collective with the King of Cups, King of Pentacles here, sorry, which brings in that sort of confidence through knowing how things work and knowing something can work completely different. Now, I'm, you should admire that someone, when someone drives past in a really nice car, I admire them in a way, and in fact, they're kind of go, oh, they've gone after what they wanted and they've got what they wanted. I don't necessarily think, I wonder what they did in order to get that nice car. Or they probably did something bad. They may well have done in the current day structure of the system. But in the future, it should be kind of going, nice one. It's like Bob Marley. Bob Marley bought a BMW in Jamaica. And to be honest, a BMW at that time in the 1970s in Jamaica was like it was like a Ferrari, at that time. Because they were going through a lot of conflicts, and Bob Marley did amazing things in Jamaica in accordance to get, the people together. Things like Smile Jamaica and stuff like that, and he had a BMW, and apparently he never locked his BMW because everybody knew it was Bob Marley's BMW, and they had respect for him, and that's what I'm talking about. And it may be a case you have a lovely car but have a horrible house. As far as I'm concerned, maybe your emphasis is more on a house than on a car. So this competition, I think, is a really good competition we can have between us all. But we need to be it needs to be a natural sort of competition that goes in more than anything else. And this vision is infiltrating throughout the system, throughout jobs, throughout businesses, throughout social media. There is a certain taking back of control of our own collective destination through the individual's application of themselves within life. That's what appears to be happening. And we need to get behind it, people. You need to get behind yourself as well. And with the changing vibrations and the energies that are coming through from the sun, which you can see on Somatic TV, it's just nailing it in. And if we're not going to listen, then those who have ears and all that, So, there you go. Hope you got the best out of this reading. I hope it helps you to engage in life in a very general sort of sense. It's the first time I'm doing it like this, so it's all a bit new, the sort of structure, as it were. So it's all very interesting. I will be doing the your individual sign readings as well, according to what's going on those planets, and it'll be up on our channel here as well. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for your support. Really do appreciate it. I'll see you soon. In the meantime, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.